EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chicago Bears. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This one fielded at the 5. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
They really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They toss to Mixon. Some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Hey, I think he's locked in.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. To throw. Willis going deep downfield for Ross. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. Shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Michel. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll set up the throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. This is taken around the 12. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals getting set to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Man open, that's Damian Ratley. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Looking to throw. Willis. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Back to throw. Willis. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Back to throw. To Michel on the dump off. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers type.
Oh, the ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him off.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And it's now 14-0. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bears offense. It's ready to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Gone!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Mixon with a first down carry. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Mixon. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Got a man open. It's Ross. And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Operating from the gun, Willis, flush to his right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Second and goal from the 1. Here's a run with Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year, and the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A give. This is Michelle. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, Michelle. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. To Mixon on the check down. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Woodside. Got an open man. It's Ratley. 30. The 20. 10. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Damian Ratley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Bullock out now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Jordan Evans coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation. He'll drop to throw. Gronkowski got it on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Gronk's first catch, good for a first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on first down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Back to throw, Woodside. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Detroit! Detroit!
Woodside looks to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Woodside to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. This quarterback now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over. And he's got his guys a first down.
Now let's go!
And the pitch goes to Mixon. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now Woodside. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing here, Woodside. And he's got it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the route is on here in this first half. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a nice spin. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going up top for Miller. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe you want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number one.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney!
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Tavarius Moore. And the return will stop right around the 25. Thomas, the intended target. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Leopard!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. In for the score. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Over! 56.
And it's Michelle once again. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Leopard! Leopard!
He'll look to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
They go play action here on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. A handoff to Mixon. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but
pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Again, it's Michel. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And a gain there of 11 yards.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. Back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Black 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run with Michelle. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Gun! 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 You got 4.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking for Gronkowski, and he's got him complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The 13 yards that time of the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 36-yard line here. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 33. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off right around the 43. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, He had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Bengals, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this, as they're not back in action until week 11. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.